Hello, Joshua Cullen here. Pardon the wind noise, it's very windy today, so I'll try and talk over it. So, a couple things have happened. First off, had to get new rims and tires for my car because driver's side was leaking and the tires had 10,000 miles left on them. And I also got my front windshield replaced because it's heavily cracked. So, coming into my storage unit, a lot has changed. First off, I drug both diesels that I had back there out, got both of them running, sold one, and this one, which was probably going to go in there, it actually is going to go in there, actually might be going away in order to get some of my other projects moving. Still in early stages of... Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, early stages. I sold my Bolins, both of them, and all the attachments. My trailer broke its frame. That's how I was able to afford the rims. I sold both of those, so I am no longer without a trailer right now. So there's that. Onin's running well. It seems like the generator head's running a little warm when it's 80 degrees out, but only with a 15-watt load. Yeah, I think I'm cautious about this, so that's why I ended up torquing both the flywheel nut and the fan nut. I don't think I think they're fine, but quick note, the reason why they run hot is just due to how the generator is designed. I didn't realize this till talking to the guys on the Smokestack forum. It's a revolving field generator apparently. So they're run warm, either no load or full load. So yeah, back to the video. When I was trying to torque the fan or the rotor nut on this side, I accidentally unloosened or loosened the flywheel nut, so I had to torque both. It was quite the ordeal. These are scrap TVs. I'm got a couple other things in the works. I drug this free Gilson snowblower home. Engine has no spark. The snowblower housing is effed. This bearing right here is destroyed. So this one, it's most likely going to be a trailer mover / a DR Power Wagon sort of thing. I just have to check on, see if friction wheels are still available. Yada, yada, yada. Will probably also be a trailer mover. I think I said that already. This 8-horse Briggs would be nice, but I have a 4-horse Honda that just needs the carburetor clean, and it will probably be going on this one. So, yeah. I am getting rid of my Kohler engines. I no longer need them because the saw rig that one was going to go on is going to be going to a different owner. As you can see, I've had these items for quite a few years. I've done nothing with them. Whatever. So there's that. Scored a bunch of free decent plywood from Makerspace, wood shop clean out. Scored this front end to that style cart right there. It was in the scrap pile. Stored that. This is the Craftsman fuel tank. Update on the Tecumseh water pump rig. This engine's going to be pulled off just because I am fed up with how pain in the butt it is to start. Got two options. I got this 5-horse Briggs with a very short stubby shaft, which I don't think will work. Maybe. There is a 5-horse Briggs, 5-horse Briggs on Marketplace, that is more vintage. That's 84. I think this is a 95 model. So there's that. These two Tecumsehs were up there. This one has decent compression, but it's pretty rough. Governor, I don't even know if it really works. I scored a free Propane burner. Don't ask me why. I have a thing for propane turkey fryer burners. Whatever. Let's see. The red pump is going to be mounted on this along with probably one of those buckets, and it'll probably be part of my display, or I might go with one of those style carts, probably this one, just so it kind of fits the theme. It as part of the swap for that diesel, this thing will probably be getting a new deck, just because the boards they need to be replaced. One's kind of kittywampus, which probably wouldn't affect things too much, but it is what it is. Haven't done nothing with the water pump, but I've kind of cleared off this a little bit. I'm slowly working through all this. The main reason why I got rid of the Boelens is because, one, it's a hydrostatic, and I've already wrecked one already. That's the main reason why I decided to get rid of it. But the owner did say he will sell it back to me for the same price when he's done with it, depending on where I'm at and all that. So there's that. The heaters that I've been using to put a load on this Onan, they do not like the worm. So I'm actually going to get some metal halide bolt. I am actually getting a 1,000 watt double one here in the next couple days. Just have to wait for the day. So there's that. I'm going back to it, but I've had these diesel engines for 6 years. I've done nothing with them. Yeah, it'd be nice to keep this one to go into here, but if I can get some of my other projects rolling, I can always get a better one, or I should say a newer one. Also, I'm thinking this is only like 8.5, which, yeah, I would be fine with this one. But I'm actually looking at, this is a 186 FA. I'm actually looking at a 195. That one is actually, I think, a true 10 horse. But it's much bigger and all that. It's like 435 cc or something bigger like that. Yep. Also, I got this one back from my friend Bill. He's the one he actually finally got the transmission rebuild kit for my wheel horse, so that's going to be nice to have back out at the showgrounds. Well, part of the big trade, he also fixed this just because it broke, and yeah, I wanted it fixed. So now I have 5 kerosene lamps. Don't ask me why I have 5 of them, but I do. I'm actually looking at getting some shepherd hooks to actually have these all over my display. And I'll probably be running a slightly lower caliber display this year. I'm not quite sure. Either might be running that to run the fan, maybe one of my Jensen's, or this and one of my, probably the orange engine, one of my heaters, just because it takes a lot of work out of me. Fuel prices aren't helping, plus or I might go all out this year, depending on how far fuel prices drop. If they're right back where they are, I might decide to run everything, but I probably won't. It just takes a lot out of me. So I know it's not what I really want to do, but I'm gonna probably have to, just because I can only do so much. Oh, that pump in the center right there is what's gonna probably be powered by that thing. I'm back. Let's start this diesel. The plastic right here is to protect the clamp, because I just did a quick how-to video on how to bleed the injection system, and it was arcing out on the case of the starter. Throttle about halfway. I don't like the kickback when it fully shuts off and it hits compression, so that's why I hit the decompression release. So runs fairly nice. I'm just using my car battery right now to use the starter. I would use my Onan, but I don't really feel like connecting to that one. I'm back. As you can see, the Onan's running, and I'm running 2,000 watts of metal halide bulbs. Only reason is because the heaters that I have been using like to overtemp when it's warm out. I've been running this thing a little bit more. It's running fine. I'm still dealing with a leaky fuel cap, but I ended up removing the primary, or I would say primary screen that you put your nozzle into for filling it. I think that's been keeping the cap from too far up. So I am no longer running a battery charger. I'm running voltage regulator right there. It's adjustable. It takes in 8 to 34 volts DC, 6 puts out 4 to 24 volts DC. I'll put a link in the description. I use the bench power supply down at Makerspace to set it to 13.6. It's going anywhere between 13.5 and 13.7. You know what? I'm fine with it. I don't have to babysit the battery charger and run it off the AC. Max, it pulls up 3 amps out of the excitation winding. So it's June still, and why do I have snow blowers? This one I paid as a scrap unit. The engine sort of runs, sort of doesn't. It'll kind of run, but not full speed. For one thing, this one is most likely going to become a cart to move stuff around. Probably get the Honda. This Gilson that I picked up, yeah, it's a tank, but I think I showed in the other clip, blower shroud is caved in. Maybe I did that, I'm not sure. Probably I did. Whatever. The engine has no spark. It's also a dual shaft engine. This thing's gonna go to scrapper because the dual shaft, next to impossible to replace the engine on with something other than another dual shaft engine. Yeah, I say, why don't you get the engine running? This thing probably needs a new coil, or the points are bad underneath the flywheel. Not gonna deal with both. Where this thing, I still can get parts for. It needs a new traction drive cable. Found one on eBay for 40 bucks. It's a single shaft engine, so I could put a 5-horse Honda on it, call it good, not have to deal with this 8-horse Tecumseh snowblower engine. I want something that has an air filter, if you know what I mean. Like I said, finally got the voltage regulator tied in. The output is going to the battery, and then the input is going to the CR1 where the diode normally lives. I do not have a diode, and I do not have a fuse on it, so there's that. I do believe I mentioned in my other clip, these Kohlers are going away. That's the Honda I pulled off that pressure wash cart. I wanted to condense it, so there's that. Otherwise, not much new in here. I probably already mentioned it. That 5-horse Briggs is going on here. Needs a new pump diaphragm. So, yeah. Old antique fan's working fine. So, working, like I said, it's working fine. 2 dead TVs that I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with. Probably when I get some money, send them to the Material Recovery Center. I was going to put some crimp ferrules on the power cord on this one, but I already put fork terminals on it. Oh well. Hello, I'm back. Thought I'd do a final closeout to the video. So what's gonna happen with the Onan is I'm gonna get a new one of the voltage regulator, just because I screwed with this one by backfeeding it power. I got some proper copper 16 gauge. I'm going to get a 15 amp 45 volt diode that I'm going to put on the output so I can leave the battery connected full time. And then I'm going to just make it look a little nicer, get some better terminals on the end that goes into the control box. I kind of did what I had in my terminal box. I'm starting to run low on stuff I use pretty much all the time. So there's that. I'm going to do some more testing tonight. Just check some couple things while the thing is in circuit. Just because. Probably end up running the diesel for a little bit too. And those 2 snow blowers, I was going to turn the Spirit one into like a DR Power Wagon, but I'm just going to get rid of it. Both those, I finally came to the right realization is that one has no spark. That one needs a complete different engine and cables. So I'm literally just gonna get rid of them, because I kind of came to the realization if I use that one for what I wanted to do, is moving the light tower. I would only need to use it like once a year. At that point, it's not even really worth it. So those are gonna go bye-bye. I'm back. One more quick thing. So I finally got my wheel horse back from my friend. As you can see, now it has headlights. The pancake muffler that was down there is now a stack. He completely rebuilt the trans. It shifts much better. I did some riding around. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this 90 degrees so it shoots exhaust that way instead of getting it right in my face. So he also put the stainless steel mesh right here. Yep. So yep, I'm happy that the transmission is sealed up, won't leak and all that. I'll probably leave it as is, probably grease it, maybe. Yep. He did wire the lights in straight to the battery on the starter post. Negative goes straight to the battery. Still gotta get a new clutch safety, because when I started it took off because the parking brake on this thing no longer works, because he also fixed the brake on it. So that's kind of nice. Yes, it's gonna get a new seat. I'm probably gonna put on the Craftsman seat or find a different one, maybe with definitely a higher back on it. So yeah, I'm glad that this thing I don't have to worry about the transmission and all that. So I'm back. As you can see, something's different. So I ended up helping a buddy with his riding lawnmower, and he just wanted to get rid of this, so I ended up getting this free 4x8 trailer. I'm gonna not do ramps this time. I'm gonna use the tilting feature. It was a full 4x8 folding trailer, but I'm not gonna use that this time, or never have. It's a 6-wheel Wonder brand trailer. Redo the sides. Of course, it needs new lights, but what do you expect for a free trailer? Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have a trailer again. I'm back. So as you can see, the control box is open. I'm up revving the voltage regulator on this Onan, going from Rev 1, which was just straight wires. It worked, but I had to disconnect the battery, to revision 2. Better ring terminals, better heat shrink. This is a 45 volt 12 amp or 15 amp diode that I have. A fuse holder on the input. Right now it has a 10 amp fuse on it. I'll probably stick a 5 amp in it just so all 3 fuses are the same. Not quite sure yet, but there's that. The fuel valve down there is leaking, so I might pull the guts out of this one, swap it. Not quite sure. Otherwise, I did a load bank test on my light tower for 2 hours. It ran just fine. Decided to do it today because it's a little cooler today than it has been for the last couple days. And tomorrow and Monday are supposed to be even warmer. And I don't want to have that thing trip over out on thermal overload or too much heat. So I'll get this installed. It'll probably run just fine. I'll do some checks and I'll call it good at that. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th anniversary of the United States, or I should say of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. I'm not really doing much. I'm not even going to be watching the fireworks because I'll probably be tinkering on this when it gets darker out so I can run those metal halide or halogen lights. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and see you next one. Bye.